everybody. Today I'm gonna make something that's really good for holiday gatherings or maybe even the Super Bowl, but it's Texas BBQ Meatballs. It's a really good appetizer. There's several ingredients that we'll go over, but they're really worth making. So first thing I have is a pound of ground chuck. And then I have 1 egg, ½ cup of oats, and these have to be the old-fashioned oats. Don't use the quick oats. They have a different texture. They just don't work. ½ cup of saltine crackers, and I've crunched these up as much as I could so there's no big chunks in there. And in this, I have a mixture of, it's a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of chili powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And then I have a ½ cup finely diced onion. And I do have a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Probably won't need the whole can, but we're just gonna pour it in as we mix our meatballs until they get to the right consistency. You might use most of the can. Just depends on exactly how much ground beef you're using. And that's the ingredients for the meatballs. And then we're gonna actually make a separate sauce for them. So for that, we need 2 cups of ketchup. Here I have a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, another ½ cup of finely diced onion. I have a cup of light brown sugar. And this liquid smoke, we're gonna use a ½ teaspoon. I know it's not a lot, but it does make a big difference. So I wouldn't skip this. And you can find this in the grocery store near the barbecue sauce, steak sauce, in that area. So we'll set this aside for now, and we'll go ahead and start on the meatballs. So we'll just add our ground beef into a big bowl so we can mix everything up. And everything that I've got here, we can go ahead and dump it in except the evaporated milk. I'll hold off on that for just a minute. And then we're gonna add the evaporated milk a little bit at a time. You can stir this up with a spoon. I just think it's easier to mix it with the hands, so that's what I'm gonna do. Once we have this all kind of incorporated into the ground beef, we'll start adding this. Looking kind of dry, clumpy right now, but we're gonna fix that with the evaporated milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pour about ½ the can in to start. Mix it up. We just don't want the meatballs to get too sticky, but we do need more moisture than that's in there right now. So. That's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna need any more than that. So we want the meatballs to be able to hold their shape and not get too runny. So if you add a little bit too much of the evaporated milk, you could just add a little bit more of the cracker crumbs if you need to. We'll go ahead and shape this into balls, and we're gonna put it on our parchment lined baking sheet that I have on the stove. All right, so I have most of our meatballs scooped out here. I've tried to make them about golf ball size, since that's a good size to get them cooked through, instead of, if they're a little bit too big, they're harder to get them done in the center. Yeah, it's not the cleanest process. So I came out with, let's see, about 22 meatballs is what my ground beef ended up making. So from here, what I'm gonna do is sit this in the refrigerator to let them firm up a little bit for about 30 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 while they're chilling. Meatballs have chilled for about 30 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and put them in the oven. It's preheated to 350 there. And they're gonna bake for 30 minutes. Now while they're doing that, we're gonna make a sauce. We're gonna get a saucepan and put our sauce ingredients in there. So we can add the 2 cups of ketchup. Our cup of brown sugar, just dump that in. Our half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Our half cup of onion. And the most important part, the half teaspoon of the liquid smoke. Yeah, dump that in. Now we're just gonna heat this, bring it to a simmer, and get everything incorporated while the meatballs are going for our 30 minutes. So the meatballs are ready to come out. They've been in for 30 minutes. I've had my sauce just simmering on the stove. So go ahead and get the meatballs out. So I'm gonna take them off of this and I'm gonna put them in a 13 by 9 baking dish. Let them bake a little bit longer with the sauce. Parchment makes it so much easier to clean up. Go ahead and pour the sauce over. Stir it up lightly. Don't want to break the meatballs. All right, and then we'll just pop it back in the oven. Let it go on 350 for about 20 more minutes. All right, our meatballs, they just came out of the oven with the sauce. As you can see, the sauce thickened up even a little bit more. They look really, really good. They smell good. The hickory flavoring makes a huge difference in there. Hopefully you give it a try and you'll like it. This has been one of my favorites for many, many years. Don't do the frozen meatballs though. You gotta do the homemade. It makes all the difference. So give it a try and let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time.